goaltending performance. They always say the game one's the easiest one to steal, so that's to get that one under our belt, give ourselves a little more confidence and we can get the job done. I think it's big moving forward.
You mentioned the goaltending. Forsberg started tonight. Talk about his performance.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, you don't have to look any further than the last couple of minutes there. They pulled their goalie. They're putting a lot of pucks to the net. They came up with a few rebounds. He makes some saves, and then they found the seam on us twice on the 6-on-5. And one, he comes up with a big save. The other one, he cuts down the angle and they miss the net. So I think that when we needed a save, he was there for us. And at the other end, their guy was good, but I think we did a good job getting to the net and coming up with some rebounds and scoring some big goals.
In the first, obviously, there was some feeling out, not a team you saw this year.
Yeah.
Were you pleased with how quickly the guys adjusted?
Yeah. I think we were on our heels a little bit early, first 3-4 minutes, and then we started to come around. We started to push back a little bit, but we didn't get much going offensively in the first. In the second period, we started to get our transition game going. We were skating a little better. We were more physical. We did a better job tracking. We played in their end a lot more and created more chances, and then that was the period that set us up. That's a period that we have to mimic moving forward. We got to find a way to bottle that up and bring that every period here on the rest of the way.
Going into the third, up 3-1, you had to know that the rain was going to come out like they did. How did you feel about how your guys responded to that?
You know what? I didn't like some of the plays we made early in the period. I felt like we panicked with the puck a little bit. There were still plays to be made on the ones we turned over in there, but they did come. They got heavier. They carried some pucks around the back of the net and gave us some problems, and then scored a couple of goals. But I think part of that was our mistakes with the puck. I think we can do a better job of managing that, even though it's an intense time and they're coming hard and their crowd's into it. I think we could have handled that a little better. I like the way we answered right back, though. The Chappie line went out and got us a big goal to get us the lead again, and that's what you got to do. You got to respond. If you sit back, they're just going to keep coming at you and wear you down and take over the game. So that was a huge goal for us. Ends up being the game winner.
Earlier, especially in the Grand Rapids series, it kind of seemed like the second period was kind of the downfall in some of those games. What was different in this particular one that made a lot of the guys?
Well, I just think the pace we played with, all of our details were tight in the second period, so we kept them on their half of the rink. We were transitioning the puck. Guys were skating in openings. Guys were taking care of it. We were battling on pucks. Like I said, we were physical on the forecheck. All the details that we talk about, I think we put them together in the second and made us a faster team. And it looked like we had some jump on them in that period. And then in the third, they kind of turned the tables on us again. So, that's the focus. We got to make sure that we're doing that every period. But to me, it was the way we were moving our feet during that period.
Now that this team, you talk so much about how you've really only seen this team on film, kind of what are some of your takeaways now that you've seen them play a game?
Well, I mean, they have some big, heavy forwards. They do a really good job of getting to the net and hanging onto pucks. I thought our D were pretty good with their seal-outs tonight, keeping them off the net. There was some pucks laying around in there, and they didn't quite get to them, and that's the key. We got to win the net front, and tonight I thought we did that. That's why we won the game. We came up with some rebounds at the other end and buried our chances. Second and third whacks on the one power play goal, and in our end, there's some pucks laying there. They might have got a touch on it, and we were shoveling it to the corner and keeping in our coverage. I think our D-zone coverage could have been a little better, a little quicker at times, especially in the third, though.
2 points for your captain. How important was that?
It was big. I mean, some of the plays he made, on the power play goal, he got a whack or two at it, and then we found the back of the net. I think at the end of the game, he gets a they had us running around in the zone, and he gets a stick on a puck, knocks it out to the neutral zone, then comes up with it again and gets the red to get it in so we can get a change. And I think those are a couple of plays that stand out to me. And that's what he does. He gets a job done when you need him to.
And Zach Werenski had the primary assist on the game winner. He now leads the team in postseason points. You've talked about him quite a bit, but what's he doing here? What's making him so special?
He's doing a little bit of everything, you know what I mean? The skill set he has, his size, strength, and his poise with the puck. I mean, he's a complete player. That's what he is. And to be able to step into our lineup at this time of the year in intense games like that and get the job done, it's impressive, especially for his age. I mean, that's why everyone's so excited about him. I mean, he's a young guy. He's going to grow a lot. But right now, to be able to do what he's doing at this level, at this time of year, I think is pretty impressive.